Welcome back. This is Pick.
Welcome back to the show, you guys.
And we're going to talk about a game that we didn't actually do a preview for because we figured it wasn't going to be close, but it was. Oklahoma played Army Saturday, and it was a nail biter. It actually went into overtime. OU inked it out, but man, it was really scary for Sooner Nation, and Ryan and I are definitely part of Sooner Nation. So really the big takeaways are OU's rush defense really struggled because Army pretty much runs the ball 99% of the time.
Yep.
And they had about 339 yards rushing, and that's really bad. It went into overtime, 28-21. That just seemed like they couldn't get off the field. Offense played fairly well for the most part. We had a couple of like a missed field goal, which Cyber usually doesn't miss.
Yeah.
Could have caught that, made that, and the game would have been over. OU got stuffed on the 1 yard line on 4th down, which doesn't usually happen. But I'm definitely not really concerned about the offense. For the most part, we played well. OU played well. Kyler Murray threw a pick, but that happens. But the big storyline and what we want to talk about is, and what the question I'm going to ask you all and what I'm going to ask Ryan is, can OU fix this defense this season, or is it going to be rough going the rest of the season?
I think they can. It's going to be an interesting journey to see how they do it, and if they can do it. Of course, that as easy as I could say they can. They easily they can't. But I'm gonna go ahead and say yes. Yeah, man, that's been our issue for past 4, 5, 6 years is great offense, shaky defense, and it's looking like that again, man. And the last game versus Iowa State, we struggled on tackling, and it kind of led into this game as well. Yeah, we just got to step up and be a better defense. We can't let an Army team, run all over us like that, and that's all they do. Literally, there were 3 for, what did I say, 8? Yeah, 3 for 8, 40 yards for the quarterback in passing. So they don't pass the ball at all, and it's quite ridiculous. Our boy Murray, our linebacker, he played really well. Got a crap ton of tackles. Broke a Sooner record, and I'm pretty sure he's up there in national records. I mean, that's a lot of tackles. But you can't just have one player doing that. You got to have your whole unit doing that. And I would say the biggest thing in this game and why it was even close is we would look great on one drive on offense, get down the field, get down the field easily like we could show we could do. And then the next drive we get stopped. And then on defense, same situation. We look good, we'll stop them, we'll stuff them, we'll get the ball back, and then the next possession they just run the ball over us and get down the field and score touchdowns. Like, we got to be able to have balance and figure this out, and to be able to be more consistent, because if we can't be more consistent, then these bigger teams are going to beat us, and we're not going to. Well, I think we'll still make the playoffs, but that's the thing. If we go in the playoffs and we play like this, we're going to get beat. So, yeah, we got some things to figure out. I will say, though, good fight for Army, though. They kept a good ball game.
Yeah, first off, definitely great fight for Army. Definitely respect for those kids that are going to play the rest of the season and the rest of their college football career, then do great things in the Army and fighting for our country. But back to football. OU, for the most part, played really well on offense. OU didn't really have the ball that much. Only around 15 minutes on offense, time of possession, and 44 minutes for Army on offense, which is just insane, really, think about it. Outside of stuff on 4th down, like I mentioned, the goal line stand and a pick and a missed field goal, we pretty much scored on every drive. Didn't really have any issues. But yeah, the defense was the issue. I'm not in the OU fan base that's been calling for Mike Stoops' head every chance I get. But
I think that bell's ringing.
Yeah, that bell's starting to ring, and I've been using the excuse that we don't have enough talent on defense lately. which I think was kind of true to a certain extent. But we've got that talent now, and we're just. You can't expect something to change if you don't make changes, and this defense shouldn't be as bad as it is. Army shouldn't run for almost 400 yards on us.
Yep.
I know the triple option is a nightmare, and I know defensive linemen's getting cut every play and cut blocked every play is a pain, but we're bigger athletes, stronger athletes. We got to get penetration and get them on the ground when we have a chance. Your linebacker shouldn't make 60 tackles in this game. That's not acceptable. I don't know, man. I'm just tired of it. I don't want to call for people said. I'm not saying we need to fire Mike Stoops right now, but if it doesn't improve this season, which it hasn't improved the last few seasons, I think it's definitely time for a change. We really got lucky. OU really got lucky. Quarterback threw a ball off of our defensive lineman's head, and it was picked, and Kenneth Mann got some pressure in overtime, and it was picked. And outside of those plays, Army played amazing on offense.
Yeah.
They couldn't stop them. Like they literally, cut from 1,000 wounds. I mean, it's kept on going and going. Get a first down, third down, fourth down. A whole bunch of times they got first down, fourth downs. It's just they couldn't get off the field.
Yeah.
And people were saying, oh, reason why it's so close because, oh, you never had the ball. Well, there's a reason why they never had the ball is because their defense couldn't get off the field. So
that's the thing about Army's offense is they run the ball, chew clock.
yeah,
That's what they do.
in this Lions game, NFL, that's what the Lions did. They chewed a ton of clock, and that's a key to victory. And like if we can't make adjustments, other teams are going to do that. Maybe not necessarily run a triple option or anything, but eat more clock and keep our defense offense off the field. So
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I was pressed and hopeful these first two games, and I wasn't extremely worried the Iowa State game. My worry meter is way higher now because of this Army game, but I'm gonna pump my brakes just a tad because we don't ever see this offense. And Kyler Murray said himself, this is not even football in his eyes. Because no one runs this type of offense anymore for the most part outside of the military schools and Georgia Tech, which their coach used to be coach for Navy. So.
Yeah. I'm that type of guy that really doesn't have any excuses for anybody, but I will say that now that I'm thinking about it, he had that great point. Kyler Murray had that great point. Nobody runs that offense anymore. It's like almost extinct, pretty much. And I think one thing that really messed our defense up is how much they were running and their energy level. Like that's the thing, for a whole game you're doing this. You're trying to stop this one play pretty much, which is actually like three, but it's pretty much one play all the time. And you're doing it constantly. And yeah, our big defensive linemen are probably getting chopped on every play. I can understand where it could be frustrating, but yeah, I agree with that. I'm like, that's the thing though. There's such a talent gap. You guys should be, your guys' stamina and energy should be ready for that stuff. And it feels like they weren't, man. They weren't ready for that. And it ended up chewing them up the later the game kept going on and on. And we got to prepare ourselves for that. Like, yeah, we won't see that offense again the whole season, but still, we need to prepare ourselves for a similar type of pace. We can't let a team like that and that has that pace, because that's the thing too, is that's what goes with that option is pace. So we got to be able to have the pace and the energy and the juice to keep fighting in games like that if we're going to keep up with really good teams.
And my last quick point is some people saying that Alabama had troubles with Georgia Southern or some team like that ran a triple option a few years ago, and then won a national championship. Alabama did. But that's the thing. That's just one game. Alabama's a lead on every other game, so that's just an excuse in my eyes. So that's really all I got to say about the game. I'm glad we got to win, but I am a little worried about the defense.
Yeah. really all I can say is good is our offense did play well, and our defense did play really well
When they
in
needed to.
in the overtime when they needed to. So I will give them credit for that, but that's the thing, you got to play defense like that all the time.
Yeah. We're not unrealistic fans. We don't think every game's going to be a blowout.
No.
But teams like this, we shouldn't be as close as it was.
I can understand if this ended up being like a 17-10 point game, but they never really was tied with us the whole game. This whole game they kept up with us. Yeah. We'll score, they'll score. That is unacceptable when we should have a way more talent, and be prepared for this way more, and we weren't, man, and it showed in that game. And yeah, we got some things to fix, but yeah, I'm not gonna freak out. We're still undefeated, and we can get better. And I'm pretty sure Coach Riley is going to dig into them and tell them they need to step up. So we'll see, though, man. We'll see if they can what they can do.
This is the pick.
We'll see you on the next one.
Thank you for watching.